Okay, so now let's configure the child classes that will inherit from the parent classes. So first, we need to set the projectile childs. So on a header file, all I need to do is to declare a constructor and then a vector that will pass in the impulse values for the specific projectile. In this case, we'll only use the x-axis. And in the implementation file, then we just pass in the call to set the projectile impulse using our vector variable. So let's see how we implement it. So first of all, I want to make sure that I placed my launcher blueprints in the world, and I assigned any random static mesh to them. So I use just a regular table and a chair. So these will be my spawning points. So you want to make sure that you drag those launcher blueprints here. And also you want to make sure that you get the physics configuration right. So for the launchers, I just let the simulate physics as off, and also no collision. And for the projectile classes, I did the opposite. So I want this to have physics on so that it can fall down. And collision, I want to set as physics actor. Otherwise, it's not going to work with the physics presets. Okay, so let's see from the code side how we are going to implement it. Okay, so first here in the first projectile child implementation file, I need to create a constructor. So let's do it. Okay, and then my variable. So I want this to be a vector. I'm going to call it strong impulse. And I'll pass in these values. So for the x-axis, I'll just use 1,000, and then for the others, just 0. So this will be the direction of my impulse. So I'm only passing 1,000 here on the x-axis. Okay, so if we implement the constructor, then what we need to do is to call set impulse. So this function, it will be inheriting from the parent function. There, set projectile impulse. And then I'm going to pass my strong impulse variable that I just created. Okay, so with this, we set the impulse for this specific child class. So let's do the second child class, and it'll be the same thing, but we'll just pass different impulse value. Sorry. So this is public constructor child 2. Okay, and my variable. I'm going to call it weak impulse. Now passing just 500 in this case. Okay, so same thing here. Set projectile impulse inside my constructor. And this time I'll pass weak impulse. There. So let's compile and save.